Hi everybody, Richard Tromans here again, Artificial Lawyer. Today we're doing another product walkthrough. We're looking at Gavelytics, the litigation analytics tool, which is based out in California. And to tell us more about it is the CEO and founder, Rick. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Richard. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, real pleasure, real pleasure. I'm going to disappear in time-honored fashion and allow you to give us all a bit of a walkthrough of how it would work, and then I'll pop back at the end and ask you a couple of questions. But please take it away.
Thank you, Richard. So nice to see everyone today. And what we're going to show you is the latest version of Gavelytics. The product's been in the market, of course, since 2017, but has continued to evolve a lot over the last several years. And this is the latest upgrade and very, very significant expansion of the product, which reflects a lot of technology development behind the scenes and improvement to the functionality and also the geographic scope of the product. And if you can see the screen here, I wanted to highlight something that's important, that we as a business now really do three things or sell things in three ways. We have our web application for enterprise, which is what I'll show everyone today. But we also have released our API and also what we call managed data services. And so everything that you see in the enterprise application today is available through API. So you can create your own applications or integrate our information in your own internal applications. Then we also, through our managed data services platform, are able to do custom research projects and lots of other deep data analysis that might be outside of the scope of the enterprise product. But without further ado, let's go into the application. And so what I'll show you today is our litigation analytics, which is broken down into what we now call views. And so you're able to view the analytics from three different perspectives. And these are stock views. We also have custom views, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But the first stock view would be judges. So if you want to research a state court judge, you can do that there. If you want to research a litigant, so that would be a party to litigation, you can do so with this middle tile here. If instead you want to research a human lawyer or a law firm in the United States, you can do so with this option here. And then up along the top, if you want to look at underlying dockets, rulings, or briefs from state court systems around the United States, you can do so from any of these. And a lot of this information is also integrated within the analytics view. But if you don't want the analytics and just want the underlying records, you can look at them there. So let's zoom in and look at a judge. Gavelytics first came out in California, but now covers lots of other states. So we can look at a judge in New York State here, for example. So I've selected a judge named James Dillon. And so you come in, you type in the name, and you can see you've got a few different Dillons you can choose from, but this James Dillon is the one that we'd like to see. And so we'll load up what we call the widgets. So the widgets are all the different functions here. It'll take a few moments, but basically what we've tried to achieve is a statistical overview of all the judges that we cover. So we can tell you how fast or slow they are. We can tell you their motion practice statistics. We can tell you how many cases they have open at a given time, and all those sorts of things. So you can see that this judge is in New York. Interestingly, New York State judges, unlike lots of other judges in the United States, move around into different counties. And so this judge has done that as indicated by this chart here. So this is the case volume by date. You can see how busy the judge has been at different points in time. And everything here is dynamic. You can click on anything and everything will pivot on that basis, much like a large Excel pivot table. Over here is what we call our motion analyzer. So you can zoom in on actual motion practice statistics and see what has happened with this particular judge with many different types of motions. And you can also filter all of the information on the basis of these motions. So if you want to see what industries, for example, that the judge is granting a certain type of motion most commonly in, you can do that. Moving further down, we break down the case categories that the judge has had. We show you the industries of the parties that the judge sees frequently, how large or small those parties are. Certain judges, for example, have a demonstrable preference for big companies. They like banks or they like big insurance companies. Other judges are the opposite, and so you can see that through here. We'll also show you how fast or slow the judge is compared to the county average. We will show you the different law firms and lawyers that are most commonly in front of the judge, the parties that are most commonly in front of the judge. And so what we can do is we could zoom in here on, say, financial services. So we can imagine, let's imagine we work for Chase Bank and we want to understand what this judge does in these types of cases. And so here, all the motion practice statistics have recalculated on the basis of financial services litigation. So you can see what the judge is doing in different motion practice types for that industry. You can see all the different types of litigants that come in these types of cases. So we have M&T Bank, Community Bank, and all this, and you can click on them. So I said, let's imagine we're Chase, right? So let's click on Chase. So we can go see the 7 cases that the judge has recently had for Chase. And so here are the lawyers involved in those things, in those cases. Here's how long they took. Of course, Chase works in financial services. All of those cases happen to be in Chautauqua County. Here are the motion practice statistics. You can see there's not a lot of heavy motion practice in those cases. If we want to see the underlying records of those cases, you can come and click on this to open the underlying cases. So you can do this sort of judge level research in just about 20 states right now within the platform. We'll be up to 30 states by the end of the year. We're also adding federal district court data, which will be in the product, we're hoping, by the end of next month. So it's coming very quickly. I'll show you also, just in the interest of time, what it's like to look up an individual human lawyer as opposed to, say, a law firm or a judge or a party. So I've selected a lawyer that I happen to know here in Los Angeles, named Keith Turner. And we can look up and see what he's been up to in his litigation practice. So this is, of course, useful if you're considering hiring a particular attorney, or if perhaps the attorney you're looking at is opposing counsel. So what we'll do is we'll create an analytics report here for Keith Turner in California. Okay, and this will take a moment to load. And so it mirrors in many ways what we have for the judge data. So you can see here, here's the case volume for this particular lawyer. He's been busy in California. As you can see, he's got multiple cases each year. When you scroll down in the motion practice statistics here, you can see that this is a lawyer with some sophistication. He engages in substantive motion practice, unlike lots of lawyers. There are plenty of litigators out there who just will file a case and settle. This particular lawyer is not that way. He will take cases to trial. He will take cases and litigate them through substantive motion practice, which is an important thing to know when you're considering hiring a lawyer, or if you are opposing the lawyer. You can also see that he has a concentration in real property law. It's just about half of his litigation workload. And I happen to know that's true. This particular lawyer does work heavily with real estate matters. You can see that the cases he engages in tend to take a while, and that's usually because that means the case is somewhat sophisticated. It's not a reflection of the lawyer necessarily. And you can see here the judges he's most commonly in front of. You can see some of the parties he's represented or litigated against. And like I said, any of these you can click on. So if we wanted to see, for example, the cases that this particular lawyer had in front of this judge, Craig Carlin, we can click there, and everything will reload and pivot on that basis. And so here we are. So mostly real estate cases in front of that judge. You can see same idea. These are rather slow cases. Still some good substantive motion practice. And also you can see that this lawyer has been in front of this judge many times. And so if you wanted to understand what happened in all of those cases, you would click this button here to open the underlying cases, and you can see what happened. So California, by the way, gives you the ability to get rid of the judge that's assigned to your case through what's called a CCP 170.6 motion. So if you were litigating against this lawyer and Judge Carlin was assigned to the case, you might want to get rid of that judge. This lawyer has lots of experience in front of that judge, and you might think that that's not good if you're opposing it. So you could get rid of the judge on the basis of this genuine information here that really I think demonstrates a lot of the value of the Gavelytics platform. It shows you hidden things that were previously unknowable and impossible to find really until now. So that is a very quick overview. I did not show the litigants page, but you could do the same thing. You could look up Ford Motor Company, for example, and see the law firms they've hired, see their motion practice statistics, see which jurisdictions they're most active in, and so on. So that's a very quick view. We also, like I mentioned, have the ability to create custom dashboards now for clients. So if there's a combination of information they want, or if they want to log in each time and see only Ford Motor Company data, or see only data from New York, or a combination of different things, we could do that in the form of a custom dashboard. So Richard, any general questions while we still have a minute or two?
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was really fascinating, and it's just, I mean, you've really come on a long way since we first talked about 5 years ago now, I think. It's amazing actually, and I just love the way that you can just keep clicking, like, everything that is on that dashboard, almost, you can click on, and it brings in a whole new dimension of data. So that's tremendous. So if somebody wanted this, and obviously it won't just be US lawyers, but it might perhaps be English firms or even European firms who are involved in litigation as well in America. How do they get hold of this? It's just a straightforward license, or?
Yes, indeed. So they can come to Gavelytics.com and schedule a demo. They can email us directly at info@Gavelytics.com, and we'd be happy to talk about the different types of licenses that are available. But certainly for non-US based firms that might be considering entering the United States market and opening an office, one of the great use cases of our tool is for competitive intelligence. So if you work for law firm A and you want to understand what law firm B is doing, you can do that here in the platform. So for example, if I work for Latham, I might care a great deal about what Skadden is doing, or what O'Melveny or Gibson Dunn are doing, and who their litigation clients are, and how well are they representing their clients, and in what markets are they doing that, and what happens in those cases. So when you go in for a competitive business pitch and you're trying to have, say, Boeing hire a new law firm, you'll be far more likely to be successful if you can come in and intelligently explain to Boeing's own cases, right? And I understand you use the following 4 law firms in these markets, and you're losing 70% of the time, and that sort of thing. And it adds a new dimension to business pitches that previously was simply impossible to do. And so for non-US based firms that want to enter the US market, a tool like this could certainly help them identify opportunities.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just thinking of Allen & Overy, which has just opened in Silicon Valley, for example.
Oh, terrific.
And yeah, to be honest, a lot of UK firms do have offices already in the US, but in some cases they're quite small offices. So this, additional intelligence can be very useful to them. So just last thing, really, because we don't have much time. This is fundamentally a legal research tool. Does it connect to all the other legal research tools that are in the market? Because obviously there's some very famous ones, which people know the names of. Does it kind of like connect to those, or does it sort of operate on a sort of standalone basis?
Yeah, it operates on a standalone basis, or at least in the enterprise application version of it, where it could be integrated into literally anything would be through our API service. And so a lot of our major AmLaw 100 clients are doing this internally now, where they've developed their own internal applications that pull data from disparate sources and then automatically push it to their lawyers at different points in time. So when a new case comes in, or things of that nature. So the enterprise application itself does not connect to third parties, but the API functionality could make it do so. But also, I just want to address a comment you made about the platform being a legal research platform. I think it could be construed that way. The beauty of it is it could also be construed as an intelligence tool, a revenue generating tool, a market intelligence one. I mean, there's so many different things it can do. So I wouldn't construe it necessarily as a research product in the same way that, say, Westlaw and Lexis and Bloomberg and Case Text and others are. It certainly has some of that functionality, but we think that it's really a tool capable of a lot more than just those things. And part of the reason that people buy it is because it does have that revenue generation capability, right? Where you can learn about a business opportunity and go get it, and that's hard to do with, like, say, Westlaw, for example. So anyway, yes, it can be a research tool, but it's certainly capable of more.
Gotcha. And last question, just to clarify for the audience, the types of cases that it's scooping up. Can you just explain just very, very quickly what levels? So you've got federal, and then you've got various levels of going through the various court systems.
Yeah, certainly. So for our non-United States friends, the U.S. legal system has, broadly speaking, two parts. There's the federal court system, and then 50 sets of state law that operate somewhat independently of federal law. We at present are a state law focused product and have been since inception. There are other companies out there that do federal courts with varying degrees of skill. We've specialized in state courts. So we cover approximately 20 states right now, and that's going to get up to about 30 by the end of the year. But out of the box right now, we cover, for example, California, Texas, New York, Florida, Illinois, many of the very big states with a lot of litigation and a lot of population. So that's what we cover. We are also covering, or will be soon, the federal district court. So that's the lowest level of the federal courts in the United States. And we've already acquired a huge amount of federal district court data from all federal district courts in the United States. So those are the courts that are present in all of the 50 states. So everything that you've just seen today will be augmented by a huge data set of federal data, which will be the first thing or I should say the first time that we've done that as a business. We've always done states and have done it rather well. And we think there's a lot that we can bring to the table with our federal coverage, and that's coming soon.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rick. Well, it looks brilliant. Wish we could do a bit more. Hopefully we'll see it again very soon, but thank you very much.
Fabulous. Thank you, Richard.